Hey, what's up guys, and welcome in today's video where I'm gonna show you how to process tech house basslines. So before starting with this tutorial, I would like to remind you that all of the samples and the preset used are from our sample pack Mirage, which is a collection of one-shots, MIDI, loops and serum presets, and you can check it out from the link in the description below. So first of all, let's listen to what we are starting with. So we only have a kick drum, a couple of drum loops. These are the notes from the bassline, which is actually a MIDI from our sample pack, and then the preset is called Blue. So let's start with this bassline. So first thing that we're gonna do is gonna be loading the LFO tool for the sidechain. So now I think that we are gonna duplicate the track and we're gonna create a top and a main bass. So let's start with the top bass line where we're gonna add an equalizer, cutting all of the lows. We can also see if we can find a different preset. So as for the processing here, we are gonna start with some saturation. So we're gonna use the FabFilter Saturn 2 in this case. We don't have any information on the top end, so we are just gonna focus on the mid band. So I think that we can work a little bit on the transient right now. So we're gonna use the Newton Free Transient Shaper, once again focusing only on the mid band. So what we can also try and do on this top bassline is gonna be adding a tiny bit of reverb. To do that, we're gonna use the audio effect track. So we're gonna create a chain, which is gonna be the dry signal, and we're gonna use another chain for the reverb. As for the plugin, we're gonna have the Valhalla room. So let's find some presets here. We wanna go for like something short, so maybe these small rooms. Okay, so now let's move on into the main bassline. Here we're gonna once again use an equalizer, cutting the really low frequencies. Yeah, around 30 to 35 Hz. In this way the kick will be the lowest part in the spectrum. Here we're also gonna apply some saturation, but in this case we're gonna have the Plugin Alliance black box. So in this case, as you can see, we are focusing on the low frequencies, adding a tiny bit of saturation and using the mix to adjust the amount. We don't want to go full 100% mix, but we just want to keep it around 25% more or less in this case. So now on the main bassline we want to add some compression, so we're gonna use the glue compressor from Ableton. So as for the settings, like the standard medium attack, medium release and 4 as the ratio are good. You don't wanna overdo this one too much, otherwise you will lose the body of the bassline. Around 2 to 3 dB of compression is good, and we are adding them back with the makeup. So I can hear some kind of resonant frequencies here after all this processing. So we're gonna load Pro Q3 at the end of the chain and trying to remove them. So as always, I would recommend you to use the dynamic function. In this way you are only cutting the frequencies when it's at a certain threshold. And I think we're gonna do a bit of a surgical EQ on the top bassline as well. So now we're gonna group the basslines together. We're gonna create this bass group, and we are gonna try and glue them. So in this case, I think we're gonna use a tiny bit of saturation with the Saturn 2. In this way it's gonna be easier to shape the sound. So let's solo this one. So let's work on this mid-range where the main and the top bass kind of work together. Also for the sidechain here on the top one, we can go a little bit less heavy, so we're gonna reduce the depth. So yeah, basically that's how we like to process our tech house basslines. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and don't forget to check out Mirage from the link in the description below. Also, let us know what tutorials would you like to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!